Hello, and you're listening to WITZ, the WITZ, the one place for all things music, art, and entertainment, right here in Douglas County, Oregon. I'm your host, Mr. Colin Hurwitz, and thank you for joining us today. I am so excited to begin this adventure with all of you. Let me tell you a little bit about what this all is. Now, if you didn't catch my post on Facebook recently, I had talked about my show called The WITZ, the WITZ, coming back for season 3. And you're probably asking, season 3, where's season 1 and 2? I never saw them, and that's fair. Let me tell you a story. A long time ago, when I was just a boy, skip. Now I live in Roseburg, and I was just teaching my class, and for those of you who don't know, I teach elementary music at Hillcrest Elementary, and this is my 8th year of completion, and so I'll be starting my 9th year teaching elementary music over there. But while I was serving and teaching, I was kind of thinking, is there more I can do? I know, more? You're already teaching class. How could you probably want to do more? Well, I didn't have a kid yet, so I was like trying to be out past 6, I guess. And the thing is, having many conversations with a lot of different people about, you've been there, the way things used to be. We've heard that conversation a million times. Well, it used to be like this, or this used to be this guy who would do this, or whatever. And I got that. So a lot of the stuff that I would hear about would be, there was this person or lady or whatever that would host this talent show, and they died, and then no one's hosted the talent show ever since. So I was kind of thinking, well, maybe there's something I can do for that. And then we kept coming across these other issues where we were limited on like performing space for kids who were trying to do stuff. Now, the schools were already doing fine, but there were all these other kids that were not in public school that didn't have access to things like instruments or lessons. And then eventually I met Michael Wheeler, and then we kind of started collaborating about 6 years ago on trying to find ways to get instruments to kids. And so I had this overarching idea, well, what if we just built like this big organization that kind of did all of it? Overzealous, I would say. That's a little much to take on all at once. So over time, I had thought about, and the reason I knew that this is what I was meant to do was because I wrote down the exact same idea 3 times in 3 different composition books. Imagine you found 3 different composition books that were not near each other at all, but the exact same design and plan was in all 3 of the books. So obviously I've been sitting on this idea for a long time and kept penciling it down, and then I finally decided to take action. So I started the Douglas County Music Association. I had actually spoken to one of my family members, Erica, and said, what do we need to do to make this happen? She took care of the IRS stuff. She helped me build a board, and I ended up building a board with people that I knew. So Michael Wheeler and Jake Tranter and Erica, that was kind of the board at first. And now the board is at least 6 people strong. We just had someone quit recently because they had too much going on. But we are looking to fill that void, and we can talk more about that later. But basically, over time, the Douglas County Music Association has been able to accomplish all of these goals. I'll give you some examples. So 1, I have already procured, now I was spending my own money on instruments anyway, so I thought, why am I spending my own money on instruments when I could raise money to do the exact same thing? So I bought a bunch of instruments. I think we have about 9 right now: flutes, clarinets, trumpets, a saxophone, drumsticks, pads, music access. And the thing is, we bought all those instruments so kids who were looking for lessons but couldn't get an instrument wouldn't have to buy one. The whole point of buying all these instruments was to just give them away to borrow free of charge to use for an extended period of time. And then when you're done with that instrument or your lessons have wrapped up, you bring it back, and we kind of have an exchange system. Right now, over 70% of our instruments are in the hand of a student right now. Now, I said there are 9 instruments, but don't forget 2 drum sets, an electronic drum set and an acoustic drum set that are out right now, a silver drum set. And then, of course, all the sticks that I've given away, pads that have been handed out, books that I've purchased. So using DCMA funds to acquire instruments and music for kids, that was step 1 of our plan, and that is still the biggest thing that we do. And by the way, my fancy little QR code, wherever it is here on the screen, will always be there. If you see something that you like that we're doing, scan that QR code and donate to our program. We're working away from Venmo, not right this second, but eventually. But we are always looking for more money. And by the way, as your CEO, I don't pay myself. I don't receive a single cent from this. I spend my own money on gas, so I am constantly spending my own money to keep this running in little ways, driving around, letting people borrow stuff, and then even once in a while, spending a little bit of my own money when I can't use the credit card to get things for kids. It's really not that big of a deal. Another thing that we've also done is gotten scholarships for kids. For example, I host an after-school choir and band program, and we have the OMEA, the Oregon Music Educators Association's All-State Conference every year, and fifth grade elementary choir students are invited, and our kids have been the only kids in Douglas County to go at the elementary level so far, and they've all gone on full or partial scholarship. For the last 2 years, we've also sent several middle school and high school students to the All-State conferences without having to pay out of pocket. We've been able to at least provide for 6, 7, maybe even 8 students to all go fully funded. Now, we partially funded some of them, so I want to be careful. I don't want to give you the wrong information. But we've already sent several kids to All-State, and we're talking about hundreds of dollars per student to go. So our last year's scholarship, we raised $1,000. This year's goal is $2,000. But with that $1,000 we raised last year, we were able to send at least 10 kids to All-State, including 4 elementary students, and nobody had to pay to go. So that is one of the huge things that we're doing, and we have a big fundraising campaign this year to get $2,000 worth of scholarships to send 15 kids to All-State, not just elementary. Last year we sent 2 high school students, I want to send 4. Last year we sent 4 middle school students, I want to send 8, and the list goes on. Over time, it would be great to send all of the Roseburg kids to the All-State stuff absolutely free of charge. That's another one of our goals, which we've already partially met. The last goal, which is why we're here today, is this program. What does this program do? What is it for? This is a spotlight for you. If you have a talent, an artistic ability, something you want to share, if you're a part of something in town, if you have something you think people should know about, you message me, you send me an email, you call, and you say, I want to be on your program, and here's why. I will be more than eager to get you on this program. So far, we got Michael Wheeler and Jake Tranter to come on and share about what they're doing, but it doesn't end there. There is so much talent in this area, and I don't care how old you are. You could be 99.99995. Let's be fair here. Let's not be outrageous here. Or if you're a very talented 4-year-old or a 5-year-old and you want to come on the show and get some airtime, we're happy to do it. This show is not a show where anybody is really making money, especially me. This show is really just about supporting you and the community. And we have a list of guests. And so over the next however many weeks, we'll be producing content and putting it out there. But I thought this would be a good time to kind of introduce myself to the audience who doesn't know me and kind of share what we're all about. We will have interviews. We will have soloists. We will have bands come on the show. We'll highlight dance studios. If you're a comedian, if you have an art gallery, and maybe, just maybe, if you're lucky, we might be able to send a camera crew to your event, film what you're doing, and then put it on the show. I think this is going to be fantastic. And again, the whole reason we're doing this is not only to support you, but to raise money for more kids. You're asking, what about all the adults in the program? We support them too, but our focus is children. And I think that's what's really important. I'm pretty sure many of you out there, when you were really young, discovered your passion and then went and ran with it. If you didn't discover in 3rd grade that you were super good at jump roping, then you wouldn't have gone off to compete in the Jump Rope International World Jump Rope Cup Championships. I know that. So when we can get a kid a drum set at 2nd grade and they take off, that kid could be marching in the marching band, or at least ready to march, by 6th or 7th grade. We've already had some 8th grade students this year, or last year I should say, do the high school marching band, and it was like the first time they'd even thought of the idea. So we have students that have come through the DCMA who have gotten scholarships in instruments, who are really making an impact in the community, taking starring roles, being leaders in musical ensembles, even being recognized by other media passions for being leaders, presidents, singers, dancers. Many of the students that I've worked with have already left the program and have gone off to do amazing things, and we're not done. If you want to come on my show, it's not hard. Just let me know and we'll get you on the camera, I promise you. And again, we are not just focused on music. It's called the Douglas County Music Association, which might make you think, oh man, just music, really? It's really art and entertainment of any kind with the musical focus. And again, one of the top things that our mission statement is procuring instruments for kids. So if you really, after all of this, feel comfortable about our mission and what we're trying to do, please donate now, and we can start buying more instruments for more kids. And by the way, think of things like repairs. Instruments break. It costs money to repair them. Think of things like new mouthpieces for trumpets. We actually had alto saxophone mouthpiece just break the other day, and we weren't able to get a new one. So donating here to help me get a new mouthpiece for an alto saxophone is a great start, and they're not super expensive. $10. If that's all you can do, that's all we need. And we're talking like $10 for the whole year. And the thing is, we're also looking into like a Patreon, so you can subscribe to be a member, and then there's all kinds of benefits for that. But if you don't want to wait for that and you want to support us now, we're eager to receive your support. And basically, there is a form on the Facebook page under files. It's just an application form. You can apply for anything you want. If you want an instrument, you can apply for that. If you want a scholarship to go to a camp, you can apply for that. And by the way, I shouldn't tell you this, but I have not turned away one application. Not one. And I could tell you how many I've sent in, but I'm afraid I'll get too many now. But don't be afraid to send in your application. If you want to borrow a flute, go to the Files app on the Facebook, send it to me, and we'll get it figured out. If you don't have a Facebook and you don't want to get a Facebook, I don't blame you. But you can send me an email, and I'll send you the form, or we can. Our website is currently under development. It's probably going to take a while, but we'll get more into that later. Anyway, I just wanted to share this with you guys. I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Colin Hurwitz. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, checking out this show. We have an exciting interview coming for you right after this. We have Michael Wheeler on the show and Samantha Johnson, and they're going to talk a lot about the Jean Bechtel School and what that can offer for you. But let's go check that out now. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Colin Hurwitz, and for the audience who may not know you, would you please introduce yourself to them, please?
Sure. I'm Michael Wheeler. I'm the executive director of the Jean Bechtel School for Music, and
I'm Samantha Johnson. I'm one of the teachers here.
Okay. Nice. I'm so glad you guys would have us here so we can talk to you and get to know about you a little bit more. For those of you who, again, a lot of people in this town have heard about the Jean Bechtel School, and this is an opportunity for us to reach out to people who haven't heard about you yet. So, Michael, just for fun, I'm curious. Who's Jean Bechtel? Is that a friend of yours? Is that somebody's grandma? Just curious.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, actually, she is somebody's grandma. But Jean Bechtel was my piano teacher when I was a teenager, and she passed away when I was a teenager. But she was incredibly influential, very encouraging of me, which is what I needed at that point of my life. So I always thought that if I opened a place, I would name it after her.
What about her spoke to you? Was the way she played, or the music she taught, or just kind of all of it?
She was a very unconventional piano player. She back in those days, people smoked inside of their house, and so she'd have like a cigarette hanging out of her mouth and her legs crossed, and she'd be playing the piano. Just that's my memory of her. No, she accompanied the community theater, and so I would turn pages for her, and a big part of learning how to play piano from her was just like sitting behind her and watching what she did, and then trying to go imitate that.
And where in the world was this?
This was in Yuma, Arizona, right? Which is more in the news now than I wish it were, but
what?
Oh, it's a border town.
No, I have, not to change the subject, but I've been to Yuma. I was in the Marine Band, and I did shows there. So my only experience with Yuma was in that hot weather on the flight line with my black shoes on, wondering what I was thinking. So,
120 degrees.
So I'm so sorry to hear about that. But, And then, is Jean Bechtel your teacher too, Samantha? Or
actually, this is my teacher right here. No cigarettes in between his teeth when we're doing our lessons.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
She's your grand teacher.
My grand teacher, yeah. If you're looking at like the teacher family history, that's what it is.
And how did you guys connect? I'm curious.
I actually came in when I was about 19 years old looking for a music teacher so I could audition for more musicals, and I had a little bit of experience working with kids and choreographing and things like that, and Michael was looking for a teacher and said, hey, if I teach you how to play piano and do these things, will you come and work for me?
How's it working out so far?
I'm going on 2 years now, so I think it's going pretty good.
And Samantha, since we're still on, you're working for the Jean Bechtel School right now?
Mm-hmm.
And what programs are you hosting?
I do a little bit of beginning piano, beginning voice, but my main focus right now has been a lot of performance coaching, musical theater, things like that.
Do you have a performance coming up soon?
We do, actually. This Thursday at about 11 to 11:30, we're going to have our musical theater group perform the oh my goodness, what is it? Forget About the Boy from Thoroughly Modern Millie.
Okay.
One of my favorite shows.
It has been a lot of fun
Yeah.
so far. The kids are working really, really hard.
Did he put you up to that, or?
Yes.
Smart thing. Smart.
Yes.
And how old is the Jean Bechtel School now, Michael?
We are going on 5 years.
Now it's Dr. Wheeler, right?
Well, if you want to be formal.
But you don't. That's not something you.
I'll answer to anything.
Sure.
Pretty much.
Well,
So
fair enough. Fair enough. You said how many years? You said 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
And what? This I don't want to sound like I'm prying or anything, but what are some accomplishments that you've made through the school? And I'm not trying to like, hey, tell me about all the cool stuff you did, but
No,
it's like,
it's-
how are you feeling about the kids or the adults that come and see you?
Yeah.
How do you feel so
Yeah,
far?
we've grown to about I want to say about 150 students, which has been really great. You know, we occupy 3 spaces within the Frontier Village shopping center. That's where we're at. So we have like a piano laboratory, a small computer lab, and a small workshop theater. That's where the theater classes happen. And yeah, so that's been great. We've really been able to grow our instrument collection as well.
Yeah.
So the students, if they wanted to like get their hands on a Bedouin rabab, we've got a couple of them here. So-
Actually, yeah. Would you mind going through what your school offers? Obviously, that instrument you mentioned, but what else?
The main thing is voice, piano, strings, guitar. That's drums. Those are the main things. But we also have like band instruments, and I already said strings. Yeah, band, orchestra, percussion, stuff like that.
Nice.
We have a former drum teacher.
Right.
Here, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking about
I'm
me.
talking about you, right?
That's true. I did work for the Jean Bechtel School, and my son came into the universe, and then I kind of went, okay, I have to drop some things for now. And I mean, even though I've dropped certain things, it's still like even just teaching school and coming home and with more, it's still a lot. So I did enjoy working here. I miss working here. I wish I could come back, and maybe in a couple of years when Benjamin's a little bigger. I would love to, honestly. Right now, I teach music, basically teach lessons for free in my classroom. Also, always trying to receive donations for my nonprofit. QR code is wherever it's going to be, but always trying to get more help to support more students. But enough about that. Let's talk more about you guys.
Sure.
So, the instruments that you're hosting, you have 150 students. How many teachers?
There's 6 of us. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6.
And their names are?
Oh,
Right,
I did that
let's write them off.
the
Here, I
spot.
think I got
Yeah.
this. I think I
Okay,
can do
okay.
this one.
Handle
So
it.
we've got Michael Wheeler, and
Okay.
then other Michael. At least that's what I call
Right.
him.
Yep.
And then Sebastian, and then Kim, Taylor, and myself.
Yeah.
That is quite a good staff. And you're offering, and it's not just adults trying to get degrees, it's mostly kids or mostly teenagers.
I would say it's our average age is probably like 11, 12. It would be my guess. Yeah. And again, mostly voice and piano at that.
I would
point.
say, yeah.
And there's an online academy that you've already been working with for diplomas. Can you talk more
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
Trinity College.
Yeah, can you talk about that real quick?
Yeah, so Trinity College certificates work a little bit like the GED program. It's a way to achieve an academic credential by examination. So in order for the students to receive a Trinity certificate, they have to learn a certain number of pieces, either on their instrument or singing. And then we record the exams. They go off to be graded in London, and then the scores are sent back along with the certificates.
So this is not like I sit at a computer and just fill
No.
out the multiple. You actually have to record.
You have to perform.
So
yeah.
it's actually more involved, and it counts as a legal diploma.
It does, yeah. So the certificates, the highest certificate is grade 8.
Yes.
And that sits somewhere between a high school diploma and an associate's degree.
Nice.
The diploma levels, which are quite a bit more difficult to achieve, but are very good and very affordable. The associate, the licentiate, and the fellowship correspond to associate's, bachelor's, and master's degrees. So.
And have you done the Trinity School, Samantha? Or do you know
I've
a lot about
done
it?
the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It takes a lot of preparation, and time is not something that I have on my hands.
Sure. Do you find the Trinity program pretty helpful?
Oh, absolutely. For the students that I have seen complete it, they are some of the most prepared musicians I have ever seen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. And actually, one of the main reasons I wanted to come in to the Jean Bechtel School first and talk to you is because I read on the internet, which is not to be trusted, that you're expanding your programs into full state diplomas.
Yes.
Can you please go more into that? Because
Yeah.
I'm sure the audience would really like to hear about this.
So we're in the initial stages of being able to issue our own diplomas of state licensure. so that, you know, if students wanted to do like a more traditional academic or, you know, mentor student route, they're able to achieve legal diplomas here at the Jean Bechtel School. We're just in the initial phases, but, you know, my goal is that hopefully in the next 5 months we'll be able to do that, take on students that are diploma seeking students. There will be 4 diploma levels. There's the foundational diploma, the specialist diploma, the professional diploma, and the advanced diploma, which are just intensive performance diplomas. After we get state authorization, then the goal is to pursue accreditation through the DEAC, which is it's an accreditation agency that's really well set up to do the kinds of things that we're trying to do.
And I don't want to get too personal, but what are the costs to pursue this?
Yeah, so the main thing that I wanted was affordability. You know, college is way too expensive. University is way too expensive.
Choked a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, you got trigger alert.
So we want to be able to offer diplomas at about $500 a semester or $1,000 a year.
Wow.
Total.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
our goal.
unreal.
Yeah.
Well, you guys don't offer dorms, do you?
If only.
Just like you might have to move into the studio.
You can bring a cot and we'll put it in the synthesizer room.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, how many schools in Southern Oregon can even offer anything like that?
As far as I know, we will be the first official music school.
And so if you're watching this and you're outside of Roseburg, this could be an opportunity if you live in Myrtle Creek or even further south and you're looking for a college or accreditation somewhere closer. Again, when you sign up for a state college or something like that, the amount that you spend just for 2 years is astronomical, and it's not just the amount that you spend on the actual courses. It's living there, it's moving there. Most people have to move or live to the college they're attending, so if you already live in this area, you know, 30-40 minutes drive for lessons and accreditation, you wouldn't have to move. It might save you a ton of money, so that's very exciting. Is that something you're going to pursue? Are you going to try to get a degree through here?
I wouldn't be opposed to it at all.
We hadn't really talked about it.
You know, actually, no. I should rewind a little bit. Would you both already talk about the accreditations you already have? What degrees, if any, or what schooling or training other teachers you might have besides Jean?
Right now, I am currently only holding my high school diploma and then a diploma in musical theater. Oh my goodness, what is it? Musical
Therapy.
performance.
Musical therapy, right?
Musical therapy, basically, is what
Nice.
it's going to be. Musical performance anxiety, and then the Alexander technique.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I am currently working on getting a few more
Nice.
under
Okay.
my belt.
Yeah, because Samantha primarily does performance coaching, we really wanted to get that like physical body training. So that's where like the Alexander technique, and then the music therapy really came in handy. And yeah,
I feel like it's been very, very helpful for what I'm doing.
yeah, her students are doing great.
And I can see your degrees on the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to go through those too? Or?
Oh no, not really.
How many degrees total?
I don't know.
That's a lot, kids.
4.
I don't.
Yeah. You know, I basically just stayed in school forever.
know.
I'm still in school actually. I'm doing a Doctor of Worship Studies at Liberty University, so which has been great.
See,
fun.
a man who constantly pursues education is running a school. Makes sense to
Right.
me. At least not running a Candyland. That would be weird.
I just refuse to grow up.
Well, music is something special that we stay with us, and you know what? And it's actually pretty easy to get lost in what's going on around the world and going, well, maybe I'm supposed to be doing this, or maybe I'm supposed to be serving in this capacity. But being in music or being in art or media is still important.
Right.
It's so easy to think it's not important because of how many things are happening right now and how dismal things seem. But the fact that we're trying our best to keep art alive and moving. Without art or music, what do people have to live for besides maybe their families and KFC?
KFC is pretty good.
Amen on that one.
Yeah. I have a moral issue because it seems like it's not fair that chicken could be that good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all good. But anyway, so anything about the school that you think the families should know besides what you've already shared?
Well, you know, we are in the midst of a funding drive. The state authorization is a fairly expensive process. So we have a GoFundMe. The community has been very generous, but we still have a long ways to go.
We'll make sure we have a link to that in the description somewhere
to raise the money. So that's my begging, my e-begging.
And we're all trying to raise money.
It's true. Yeah, DCMA
and how many students would be too many students? Like, what's your capacity for the school? Like, if we break 300 kids, you gonna start sweating? Or
I think we probably have room for maybe 50 more. Before we have to think about expanding again.
Are there any kids who are too young? Like, what's the youngest?
No, that's the crazy thing. We have a specialist here who has a curriculum for children as young as 1 year old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
what?
Yeah, I know. It's you wouldn't think that it was possible.
I think I even saw on your brochure it said from like 1 to 99 or something.
Yeah.
Like, so the 101 year olds are out of luck. Sorry.
They are.
There's a flight of stairs here.
That's true, yes. It's an old building, and the stairs are a little lethal.
Those stairs are going to take me out one of these days, I promise.
Samantha, did you grow up in this town, or are you from somewhere else?
I'm Douglas County born and raised.
Nice.
I was born in Roseburg, and then I lived in Myrtle Creek until I was 19, and then I moved to Winston with my fiance, and that's where we live currently.
Nice. And you feel like staying here and being a part of this community is pretty important?
I feel like, at least from when I grew up, there wasn't anything like this for the people around me.
Right.
It was either you played football or you played volleyball and maybe you danced. That was it.
I'm sure that I always see piano teacher signs in windows because I grew up in Sutherland too, and always be like piano lessons. But you're right, like that was it. I think we even have we had an instrument shop in Sutherland for like a year.
Yeah.
And then
I know we had a dance studio in Myrtle Creek for a while that I went to, but I don't think there's anything like that there anymore.
I even have to argue for Oregon music. Like, Oregon has some of its own issues, but I would say Oregon music, that's one of the notes of our state, in my opinion. Like the marching bands, most of the big towns are like really serious and competitive. We have great choirs. We have lots of students in music, and I've seen Oregon's kind of a small state, and we're kind of crunched between Washington and California, which are higher grossing states. But even though we have like hard budgets and stuff, Oregon still produces some really good music. And the musicians, I was at the Oregon Education All-State with the elementary choir earlier this year. And the director was from a different state, and he was like, wow, Oregon musicians are taking this seriously. Like, kids came prepared, and they were shocked, because I'm sure they go and see kids from other states who are not prepared. But the fact that they came to Oregon were like, whoa, Oregon musicians are taking this seriously. Well, we got compliments from the elementary kids all the way to the high school kids. Like, Oregon kid musicians are quite serious. And the problem is the jobs in Oregon are few and far between. Yeah. So it seems like it's always like a stepping stone. Like, you come to Oregon, or you were born here, and you're going to leave at some point. I want to go to New York. I want to go to LA, but wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have to do that?
Yes.
That's the goal.
I think that's why we're all here, in my opinion. So, anything else for the audience while we're here that you think is important?
I guess, just to compliment you guys. I mean, the NR Today, seeing the moves that you guys are making, and Spider King and all of that stuff is just like, it's been awesome to see. So.
Oh yeah, follow-up question. I'm glad you brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the groups that you guys are in cahoots with? Are you guys partnering with any other groups in town? Like you said you have a musical number thing, and UAC does too. But there's that you guys kind of work together on that, or is it just two separate entities?
It'd be nice to work with UACT more, or with more, and same thing with any of the other arts groups or art center that's in the community. But no, we're kind of our own island right now. We did some stuff with a couple of the dance groups in town.
Yes.
But yeah, so yes, anybody who's involved in arts, if you want to partner with something, reach out. And
yeah, we're trying to and we're talking right now about, so DCMA gives instruments to kids, and we're trying to figure it out where if you get an instrument now, when you get an instrument from DCMA, it doesn't cost anything, but you have to be signed up for lessons, and there has to be proof and all that stuff, and then we can hook it up. But, we realize that we just hand out scholarships, and then there's no follow-through and no accountability. Those scholarships get wasted, which is something we're trying to prevent. So DCMA, Spider King Studios, and Jean Bechtel School are all trying to kind of work together to help each other out. So, and we've been helping each other out for how many years now?
It's been about 5.
It's been 5. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I met these guys on stage doing a show, so, and then I met Michael online. I think
Yeah, you were involved in one of Jake's productions, and we were so that connected us on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
And then we started talking.
Weird how things have changed so much
Yeah.
where you used to have to meet in person.
Yeah, but Douglas County Music Association, Spider King had been going for a couple years
Yes.
before
Oh, yeah.
this place started.
I think Spider King's the oldest amongst us.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
It's funny because he's actually the youngest amongst us.
Yeah.
Which is even funnier. The oldest group is the young.
No, but just to say that we all basically started around the same time.
And I love how you're getting young kids. Sorry, young
Your
adults.
kid.
Oh, that's how
Sorry
I've
about
always
that.
been.
We're getting young people to get in here and help out, and most of your staff is, either fresh out of college or still pretty young. So you got some people in the area who finished high school who are looking for work. Even Sebastian's my friend from college, or no, from high school. So it was nice when he was looking for work that I was able to connect you guys, and that was so cool to see Sebastian take on that lead. So that's awesome.
And he's been great. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I hire good people.
You do.
I love
you
it.
do. Yeah.
Samantha, anything else for the audience while you're here? Because I'm sure they'll see you again soon.
Yeah, I hope so. I would really, really hope
Yeah,
so.
we want to get your group on the show.
Yes,
And
I would.
We'll figure
I know
that
that
out.
they would love that as well.
We'll set that up.
You don't know until you try. You have to start to be able to do anything new. That's a lot of people think that they're too old or there's no use in learning a new skill like piano or singing or that you have to be born with it. That's not true. It's so not true.
And I think one of the things is cost. But the thing is, you guys make it really affordable.
Yes.
So, and the DCMA offers scholarships too. If you're really struggling, we actually approved some adult scholarships last year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and the students that you approved, the adult students, are still with us. So yeah, it's been great.
well, you guys, check out the Jean Bechtel School. The website's posted down below. Sign up for lessons. Come get a lesson. Come be a part of this amazing community. You won't want to miss this exciting opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, that seems to be all the time we have left for today. Tune in next time for another exciting episode of the WITZ, the WITZ, the one place for all things music, art, and entertainment right here in Douglas County, Oregon. I'm your host, Mr. Colin Hurwitz, and thank you for joining us today. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.